Hey, welcome back. This is a little different segment of Harrowings Live. We are doing a live lesson with Sunny Triple, voice coach. Sunny, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Hal. My name is Sunny Triple, and I'm a singer. I'm a vocalist. I'm a vocal coach, singing instructor. Um, I love to do songwriting instruction, and sometimes a little piano. I dabble in a little piano, a little guitar. But I meet with Hal every week, and invite me to the Substack Live again. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really have a lot of fun doing these with you, and I have a lot of fun meeting with you every week where you sing and, we really cover a lot of ground. Um,
Yep.
and I love to hear about, everything that weaves in between all of those songs. Sometimes it brings up topics and we talk about, history or music or family or some of the cool things that you have there in the background that, the collections of things
Yeah.
that humans we collect. Um,
We are
be,
creep.
yeah, because interested, we're interested in the harrowings, you know.
A, a rolling stone may gather no moss, but I sure do. So anyway, yeah, so but it's an accretion is what I like to think of it as all these things have just sort of glommed on me. One of my college buddies in his senior quote took a line out of, I think it's T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. And it was, "These fragments I assured against my ruins." So I may not be a total ruin yet, but I'm heading there. We're all going downhill, and I've oh, this is interesting. I got myself an autographed copy of this book called The Bastard on the Couch. And Sonny and I were just talking about, and I'm gonna, deviate a little bit from singing for a second
Yeah.
to talk about this. I found a copy of this book in a lounge. It was the only thing there. There's usually in this lounge a lot of reading materials, but it was the only book sitting there on my seventh wedding anniversary in 2015, May 3rd. I walked in there and I saw that and I picked it up and I threw it open, and it fell open to this story. And it's about all these men writing about fatherhood. What does it say? 27 men try really hard to explain their feelings about love, loss, fatherhood, and freedom. And when I was in Pittsburgh, I happened to be in the circle of a chap who was a writer, a creative writing professor at Pitt. And here is his story. I threw it open to this very story. And I was like, what are the chances of that? Buddy had died 3 years earlier on April 13th of 2012. But it was quality time keeps love fresh. And I thought, how appropriate for my anniversary. So it goes like this: quality time keeps love fresh, Lewis Norton. I was already fairly drunk and it was about 2 a.m. and the library was closing. This was a redneck bar down in Arkansas, the library, not a place where you checked out books. Somebody said there was a party over at the Skull Creek Apartments, and did I want to go? So I said, yeah, okay, sounds good. I'll see if my wife wants to go too. I was devoted to that woman, Elizabeth. She's the love of my life, or was then. This was in the early 80s. I'm married to a different woman now, and so she's the love of my life. I had to shout to make Elizabeth hear me in the library. There was this bluegrass band named Cornbread playing. They were exceedingly popular in the Ozarks at the time and had a washboard player with one glass eye, and the other eye wouldn't focus either, so it would make you dizzy to watch that guy play. He had these metal things on his fingers, and they were going clickety clack. He could make the scandal speak, as we used to say back then when we meant to say scoundrel. His eyes were spinning. There was a banjo, too, and I don't know what all. This was back when I didn't think twice about driving while drunk. We had a Dodge truck with a bad throwout bearing that sounded like you were running over a bale of wire most of the time. I was Mad's worst nightmare. That's Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I'm not proud to admit it. I'd already run up on the sidewalk one time that night. The kids were staying at the grandma's house, so we could have stayed out all night if we wanted to. You might say me and Elizabeth had treated ourselves to a romantic evening out. It was my idea. I was trying to make the marriage work. I would have done anything, but this was all I could think of. Elizabeth was already started to fall out of love with me, so I felt that I had to convince her. I said, "You've got to spend a little quality time together to keep love fresh. Anybody would tell you that." She said, "Oh, all right." When I asked her did she want to go to the party at Skull Creek and told her that they might have some dope, she said, "Nah." She didn't want to go to Skull Creek. She said they were too drunk, and anyway, somebody was always pulling a gun. This is a complete exaggeration, by the way. She said she had her reputation to think about. She was an elementary school teacher. It was one excuse after another. We left the library and got in the truck, and I slammed the door so hard a hunk of rust the size of a dinner plate fell off the front fender. It goes on. He does go to the party. He does take a gun. He does get picked up by the police, who they drive him around and make friends with him and drop him off at his apartment at the end. So I've spoiled the ending, but The Bastard on the Couch, interesting book. Did not expect to see it. I did not realize I had an autographed copy. The editor autographed this one, Daniel Jones, and
Oh,
looked
yeah.
him up later. So I like to tell stories and I like to sing. I'll tell a little bit about how we got together, Sonny. Let me give you the microphone for a second. How did we start this? Do you remember?
Well, I guess what happened was you had offered a ticket on Jamily to a concert, and I responded and I said I would very much like that ticket. And wait, had we met yet? You tell the story. You tell it that.
All right. You know, I'm the
Yeah,
historian,
yeah,
so I'm going to know it pretty well. I'd seen Sonny singing one
yeah.
time in a show called Sticky Fingers. There was all these women who rock doing Rolling Stone covers at the Pearl Street Warehouse, and I had been really impressed. So when I put that out on the Jamily, and it was Sonny Triple responding, saying, "Hey, I'd really like that ticket," or those tickets. There were two of them. You got
Yes.
Neil there too, right? And I was starstruck because I was like, wow, this person actually is talking to me. So we talked back and forth on the text a little bit or email, whatever it was. I guess Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Messenger. And I was up in Philadelphia about to see the Dead and Company final tour show there at the Philly, in a ball field. And so I needed to get rid of that ticket because I was going to go to Remain in Light instead. I've done this thing, which I do sometimes. I double book myself. I can't be two places at once. And the Lyric in Baltimore is a heck of a drive for me from DC. Sonny's more of a road warrior than I am. And so she got him, and we had not met. We would meet later, and I'm trying to figure the date out. I will go research that. We can probably figure that out. But you were in Legion of Jerry at the 8 by 10.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you know the date?
Oh, no, I don't know the date, but I sang in both Better Off Dead and Jerry Tripsters that night.
Well,
Um,
they were one thing, right?
I think we're one after the other, but a little bit merged here and there.
I thought they were merged throughout, but I could be wrong. I thought it was just Legion of Jerry is Better Off Dead and Jerry Tripsters coming together in one thing.
No,
No? You
no,
sure? Because I didn't see them as
no.
separate. I thought you were on stage the whole night.
They
Anyway,
are
I could have been
not
wrong.
the whole night, and there are some similar members, but
At the end of the show, I went up to you and introduced myself, and your friend Nick got a shot of that
yeah.
moment just before I connected to you. You were talking to some other person bending down over the stage, as you do at the end of the show, very graciously. So that was fun. It was particularly fun to see your expression when I told you who I was, and you were like,
Oh, yeah.
that was funny. So, and then how did we get here? Well,
Oh, you at the Hamilton,
okay.
and we talked about, you had asked me about voice lessons. I had probably posted about,
Yeah.
everyone voice lessons reminder, and I saw you at the Hamilton, and it was for D- Dead Dead 69. What was it? Which show was it?
Live Dead and Brothers,
Oh, Live Dead
one
and
of Tom Constantine's last shows with them.
yeah. With Mark Karen
Yep.
and Pete Lavazzoli. Um, yeah, it was a great show, and so we said, "All right, let's do it," and here we are. And we started, and in April, I think, of last year.
That's right. It was right after my father had died, and I decided, well, you've always wanted to sing, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
Just going to go ahead and do this as a way of processing the grief. And we started out with King Crimson's Epitaph,
yeah,
which we did actually in our first like Harrowings Live podcast thing as
yeah.
well. We covered that.
You
But
had your
this time I have in mind to start off with There's a Heartache Following Me, and I don't want to use too much time talking. I've already used 18 minutes of your time, and we've got kind of a hard stop at 1 o'clock. And how I guess we have 8 of us total. That's I think the 2 of us and 6 other people have tuned in. So we'll see if they want to stay after this. I mean, my voice is what it is. But I wanted to cultivate it because I was planning on doing a lot of talking on a podcast that actually didn't come to fruition. But I'm doing my own thing now. And I
yeah.
had Skip Healy, the world's greatest fifer, according to Yankee Magazine, on just recently. I don't know if you saw that interview with Skip, but it's 3 hours long almost. We got to talking, and Skip's got this great story. I want to just tell a little bit about that one to advocate that people go out and find it. Harrowings podcast dash Skip Healy is how to find it. SkiphelY. And he is over in Switzerland where he's making flutes and fifes as well as, teaching and doing his own podcast called Empty Pockets Podcast. A little plug for Skip there. But as we were talking, I mentioned, my Grateful Dead collection. You can see some things like there's the Warlocks cigar box set back there from the show at the Hampton Coliseum in 1989. And he said, "You're going to either hate me or envy me or whatever, but I'm going to tell you the story anyway. I was out on Pierce 39 in San Francisco smoking a joint. And a guy comes up to me and says, 'That smells really good.' And, he started to share it. And then he said, 'What's your name, man?' And Skip said, 'My name's Skip. I think I know your name.' It was Jerry Garcia.
Wow.
And they started talking not about the Grateful Dead, but about Jerry's banjo playing. And you can watch the thing and Skip will tell the tale. But then at the end of the conversations, Jerry says, I don't think I've ever told anybody that. So Skip's the carrier of this one banjo related conversation with Jerry Garcia. Anyway, so that was a lot of fun. That was something unexpected in the podcast, which is largely about fife and drum, which is my background. And
Yeah,
fifers, as you may know, we like to amplify the signal through the noise. So with that, I'm going to just do this a cappella. I tend to try to do that so I can get it right. I've heard this song a lot. It's one that's been back in my head for a while, and it's called There's a Heartache Following Me. It's a cover of a Jimmy Reeves done by Pete Townsend on his album Who Came First, his first solo album. Sometimes they ask me if I'm really happy now. I say, sure, I never loved her anyhow. But inside, I long for you and the way it used to be. I look around, there's a heartache following me. I always say that I'm really glad you're gone. I even act like I never cared at all. But your memory lingers on, and I'm never really free. I look around, there's a heartache following me. I pawned my ring and everything that tied me to the past. I say I never loved you, never meant for it to last. But I know it's just a game and the loser's always me. I look around and there's a heartache following me. Sometimes they ask me if I'm really happy now. I say, sure, I never loved her anyhow. but inside I long for you and the way it used to be. I look around and there's a heartache following me. All right.
That song's so great. It's got such a vibe of, like, a very old, you know, eloping cowboy kind of a song, and also, something from the '40s, like, this great.
And we'll stay back there with the Cole Porter thing that he also does on this album, which is one of the um, favorite songs of Mayor Baba, who Pete is a devotee of, and so am I. I should tell the backstory of that a little bit. When I was in Randolph-Macon College as an undergrad, towards the end of it, I got involved with Amnesty International and waging peace, which I believe in quite a bit. That we shall wage peace versus war. And Amnesty, of course, does great work. And I went to the Southeast Regional Conference in New Orleans that year, in fact, and I'm deviating now, so I'll try to get myself back on track. Our director for this, our faculty advisor, was the director of religious life at the University of Pittsburgh at the time. And he wasn't there long. His name is Charles Haynes. And he had been actually one of Mayor Baba's inner circle during the time that Mayor Baba was alive. Mayor Baba dropped the body in 1969. In fact, Pete Townsend never met him, but that was the inspiration through Terry Riley, the 90-year-old minimalist composer. I think introduced Pete to Mayor Baba. Yeah, and Baba O'Reilly, right, is about
Right.
Terry Riley and Mayor Baba sort of blended together, which is kind of an interesting thing. But um, Charles had actually hosted Pete at one time in his apartment, and when he was traveling through or something, because they would have that connection to Mayor Baba. And if you don't know who Mayor Baba is, look him up. It's Wikipedia. It's worth the time to sort of check this out. It's a century since his vow of silence. 1925, he stopped talking and just used an alphabet board and then a gestural language after they threw the alphabet board away to convey. But there's a number of books by him out there, discourses, God Speaks, things like that. Well, Charles was there, and he wrote The Awakener during that time and published it, and that was about Mayor Baba as well. So I have this connection, and therefore these things really resonate with me. And as I mentioned, Begin to Begin is one of his favorite songs. We've tried this recently. Give it a go again.
Okay.
So, when they begin the begin. I always have to sort of try to find the note, right? When they begin the begin, it brings back the sound of music so tender. It brings back a night of tropical splendor. It brings back a memory evergreen. I'm with you once more under the stars, and down by the shore an orchestra's playing, and even the palms seem to be swaying when they begin the begin. To live it again is past all endeavor, except when that tune clutches my heart, and there we are, swearing to love forever, and promising never, never to part. What moments divine, what rapture serene. The clouds came along to disperse the joys we had tasted. And now when I hear people curse the chance that was wasted, I know but too well what they mean. So don't let them begin. They'll begin. Let the love that was once a fire remain an ember. Let it sleep like the dead desire I only remember when they begin, the begin. Oh, yes, let them begin, the begin, make them play, till the stars that were there before return above you. Till you whisper to me once more, darling, I love you, and we suddenly know what heaven we're in when they begin, the begin. When they begin, the begin. That not easy. Such
That
a
was
range.
cool. And a wedding song of yours.
Hmm?
That I love that. It's beautiful, and it was a wedding song of yours, was it not?
Actually, no, not that one.
Why?
But there were 3 Cole Porter numbers done.
Okay.
I can't remember what the 3rd one was. I think it might have been "I Love You,"
Okay.
because Cole Porter was challenged to write a song with "I Love You" in it. They said he couldn't do it, and of course he did it. It's kinda like how Graham Nash got challenged to write, "Just a Song Before I Go." Why don't we try that one? That'd be fun.
Okay.
Did you know that story about, Graham Nash by any chance?
No.
I forget who told it, whether it's Stills or somebody. I think it's Stills probably. Oh gosh, so what was it called again? Just a Song.
Before
Just a Song Before I Go, song by Crosby, Nash. Lyrics. Just a song before I go. I'm not sure I got that right. Let's see. Let me listen in my head for a second, as they say. Just a song before I go, to whom it may concern. Traveling twice the speed of sound, it's easy to get burned. When the shows were over, we had to get back home. And when we opened up the door, I had to be alone. She helped me with my suitcase. She stands before my eyes, driving me to the airport and to the friendly skies. Going through security, I held her for so long. She finally looked at me in love, and she was gone. Just a song before I go, a lesson to be learned. Traveling twice the speed of sound, it's easy to get burned. So yeah, apparently somebody challenged him, said, "I bet you can't write a song like in just the minutes we have before we're getting the flight." And Stills was like, "Never challenge Graham Nash," because he wrote that. And he got a call from Wavy Gravy about, the, Chicago 8 trials, I think, or something that stuff was going on in Chicago. Um, and he was decided that with that impetus from Wavy to come out to Chicago, he would do it. And I think I need to listen to this as well. Let's see if I can
This is a song from Matt Daly.
get the,
Yeah.
chord, and I'll back off of it in a second. Though your brother's bound and gagged, and they've chained him to a chair. Won't you please come to Chicago just to sing? That's not quite right. Let me see if I can listen a little more.
This is a song from Matt Daly.
Oh, your brother's bound and gagged, and they've chained him to a chair. Won't you please come to Chicago just to sing? Something like that. I have to always work these through, so, you know, brother's bound and gagged. He's way up there, right? Into a chair. Won't you please come to Chicago just to sing? I don't have the lyrics anymore. Okay, let's try it again. Though your brother's bound and gagged, and they've chained him to a chair, won't you please come to Chicago just to sing? In a land that's known as freedom, how can such a thing be fair? Won't you please come to Chicago for the help that we can bring? We can change the world, rearrange the world. It's dying to get better. Politicians, sit yourselves down. There's nothing for you here. Won't you please come to Chicago for a ride? Don't ask Jack to help you, 'cause he'll turn the other ear. Won't you please come to Chicago, or else join the other side? We can change the world, rearrange the world. It's dying. If you believe in justice, it's dying. If you believe in freedom, it's dying. Let a man live his own life. It's dying. Rules and regulations, who needs them? Throw them out the door. Somehow people must be free. I hope the day comes soon. Won't you please come to Chicago? Show your face. From the bottom of the ocean to the mountains of the moon. Won't you please come to Chicago? No one else can take your place. We can change the world, rearrange the world. It's dying. Throw them out the door. Anyway, I'm like not really tracking on exactly how the "it's dying and let a man live his own life" goes, but anyway, you get the point. They're challenging, actually. The vocals and Crosby, Stills, and Nash, obviously, they're so good. But now we're going to do some of our favorites of King Crimson.
Oh, yes.
Before I run out of time, not doing too bad. 12:36 is what I got on the clock. So, Red, does that have lyrics? No, it doesn't have lyrics. King Crimson lyrics. Gonna give me some random stuff, right? We like to do islands, but I don't know if that's what I'm gonna come up with. I like some of the newer stuff too. Not doing De La Hun Gingy. Actually, Adrian Belew will cover that in the Remain in Light show, that one I went to instead of going to Les Claypool and the Flying Frog Brigade, which is where Sonny went on that day when I had double booked myself. And yeah, show all songs by King Crimson. We did Fallen Angel. A lot of the John Wetton stuff is much tougher than I would have thought.
What about Three of a Perfect Pair
Okay.
or
We'll
Sleep?
lead off with that. I'm just having trouble finding things.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Yeah, see,
So I'm backing up to get Three of a Perfect Pair. Three of a Perfect Pair. Will it come up? There it is. Haven't done that in a while. What key shall I start it in? Let's see. I'm probably not going to start at the one they use.
All right. Yeah.
He is susceptible. He is impossible. They have the cross to share. Three of a perfect pair. He has his contradicting views. She has her cyclothymic moods. They make us study and despair. Three of a perfect pair. One too many schizophrenic tendencies. Keep it complicated. Keep it aggravated. Any backup singers? And full of this hopelessness. Oh, what a perfect mess. He has his contradicting views. She has her cyclothymic moods. They make us study and despair. Three of the perfect pair. One too many schizophrenic tendencies. Keep it complicated. Keep it aggravated and full of hopelessness. Oh, what a perfect mess. Instrumental break. Then the chorus comes back. One too many schizophrenic tendencies. Keep it complicated. Keep it aggravated. Full of hopelessness. Oh, what a perfect mess. One too many schizophrenic tendencies. Keep it complicated. Keep it so aggravated and full of this hopelessness. Oh, what a perfect mess. And when I'm going around filming the passing show, as I'm apt to do, I quite often am actually riffing off of another King Crimson number called simply Eyes Wide Open.
Oh, all right.
You know that one, right?
I love that.
Eyes Wide Open, King Crimson. There's also an acoustic version, interestingly. I might need to listen to this in my head for a second. Are you going to play it for me? You got it up? You do?
Yeah. Can you?
Well, here it comes. I got it, actually. I don't read it. Well, here comes another day, another decision on the way. Well, here comes a color display of preferences to make. Well, here comes a knock on the door, open it for an opportunity. Well, here comes another day for memories to be made. Eyes wide open all the time. There it was a perfect take. And were you asleep or awake? Well, there it was a perfect time to speak your mind. And there it was a chance of a lifetime flew right by. And what did you do? Well, there it was another day for memories to be made. Eyes wide open. Eyes wide open all the time. I've got my eyes wide open. Eyes wide open all the time. 'Cause you never know what you might see. Eyes wide open, eyes wide open all the time. I've got my eyes wide open because you never know what you might see. Cut that. 12:42. Okay, I think we got time for a couple more. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of fun because it is a backdrop to what I do, as far as the my creative work these days. Harrowings that I call this Substack.
The
It's
state
all about what my grandfather used to do on the farm in North Carolina, where my mother was raised in basically like 18th century conditions on the family farm. They've been in this family since sometime in the 18th century or earlier. We don't even know how long they've been on that land. And they would harrow it, right? It just scrape up the surface so that creative work could be done, planting the seeds, something will grow. That's the idea behind all this stuff that I'm doing out here. I'm my grandfather's grandson, after all. That family had some really interesting things. But, you and I, we tried doing alongside the music. I talked to the Wind and some others from the first album of King Crimson. And if you don't know it, 1969 is when they did this, way early. And Epitaph was one of the main tunes on it, in which they prophetically suggested that, they feared the world and everything in it was in the hands of fools. And,
in the
turned out they're kind of right. Go ahead. You were saying?
in the Court of the Crimson King.
Yes. An observation by King Crimson. And I love that subtitle to this album because King Crimson is not a band. King Crimson is an entity. And in preparing for the discipline sessions after Robert had cut King Crimson, gone off to Shelburne House to study under John Godolphin Bennett. And if you don't know about him, look him up. I don't have time to go into it all. He came out of that and was going up to meet with Tony Levin, who, by the way, is going through some health issues right now, and we all wish him the best. And Adrian Blue and Bill Bruford. They were going to get together and they were going to call their band Discipline. Now, Tony mentions in the Court of the Crimson King documentary that he wasn't too happy with that because that means an American punishment. But from Robert's perspective, discipline is a vehicle to joy. That's one of his aphorisms from the Guitar Circle. And as Robert drove up there, he became aware of an entity in the passenger seat that said, if these young men want, I will come, and this can be King Crimson. It wasn't like Robert. It's this other self. Napoleon Hill, who you may know of, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, talks about this also, particularly in a book called Outwitting the Devil that was suppressed from when it was written in 1938 in Washington, D.C. as an interview with the devil until it was finally published in 2011. So that's also worth seeing. So I always like to drop in these little references, and Sunny writes them down, and she goes off and I think she plans to look into some of the things that I've thrown out there, like the Wavy Gravy story or whatever. There's Saint Misbehavin'. Great uplifting film, by the way. It's like a love letter to the world, they say on part of the comments about it and the reviews. I don't know where that is. Oh, yeah. An unabashed love letter to the world that defies the cynicism of our age. And this is my personal autograph copy by the director. Wavy, his son up here, Jordan, and inside, very nicely on this beautiful picture of Wavy and his wife, Jahanara. Jahanara has autographed it as well. So lovely, lovely. So Moonchild. Oh, I talked to the Wind. Said the straight man to the late man, where have you been? I've been here and I've been there and I've been in between. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. I'll change the key a little bit. I'm on the outside, looking inside. What do I see? Much confusion, disillusion, all around me. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. You don't possess me, don't impress me, just upset my mind. Can't instruct me or conduct me, just use up my time. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. Said the straight man to the late man, where have you been? I've been here and I've been there and I've been in between. Now, King Crimson is definitely an acquired taste, but Jimi Hendrix saw them at the Marquee Club. Do you know this story already, Sonny?
You mentioned this to me once before. Tell it to everyone. I want to hear it.
Apparently, the person who was at the table with him said to Robert Fripp later that Jimmy had been sort of jumping up and down saying, "This is the best band in the world." And then Robert tells his own story of meeting Jimmy later that evening backstage, where Jimmy had his arm in a sling from something, I don't know why, and his right arm. And he said, "Shake my left hand, man. It's closer to my heart." And I love that story. That's a great one because it was pretty clear that Hendrix was really impressed with Fripp's playing. And Fripp is kind of like really rigorous in his practice. He practices like 4 hours a day, and he finds his playing is compromised if he doesn't. So this tells you the kind of dedication and discipline that these artists put into it. I'm trying to do something similar with my own work, as chaotic as it can be, in my creative process, right?
Yes.
And Sunny's got her own creative process. So y'all who are out there, look her up and learn more about her because there's so much to Sunny I can't even begin to describe it. Right?
A lot of pots. Yes. I liked it.
Well, I've been doing really sweet stuff, and maybe we need something with a little more edge on it.
Okay.
I don't know what has edge on it that I like. I'm thinking maybe dinosaur. Dinosaur is challenging for me because I love it, but I have a hard time getting the grit, right? Baloo does it really well. I gotta hear it in my head. When I was a dumb young guy, long ago and far away, in a different age when I was a dumb young guy. Fossilized photos of my life then illustrate what an easy prey I must have been. Standing in the sun, idiot savant, something like a monument. I'm a dinosaur. Somebody's digging my bones. I'm a dinosaur. Somebody's digging my bones. Ignorance has always been something I excel in, followed by naivete and pride. Doesn't take a scientist to see how any clever predator could have a piece of me standing in the sun. Idiot savant, something like a monument. I'm a dinosaur. Somebody is digging my bones. I'm a dinosaur. Oh, when I look back on the past, it's a wonder I'm not yet extinct. All the mistakes and bad judgments I made nearly pushed me to the brink. It doesn't pay to be too nice, it's the one thing I have learned. Still, I made my fossil bed, now I toss and turn. I'm a dinosaur. Somebody is digging my bones. I'm a dinosaur. Somebody is digging my bones. Oh, people, people, how we doing? You doing okay?
Yeah, I love that one. I love it.
55. It's 12:55. I'm gonna leave a little time at the end, but how are you doing on time? You have a hard stop? I got,
I do after this. I think,
I got to
um,
pick up Lynn
yeah.
too, so we both do. But this is nice, and I hope that people are liking it. And you just blanked out. I don't see a picture anymore. Or I see somebody else trying to join in, maybe. The green philosopher is still there, it looks like. Um, we've had about 18 other people chime in or come in and watch a little bit, if they're watching at all. Anyway, there are a lot of lives on
If,
Substack to pick through. So let's
if
go.
if you're watching right now, say hello. Just write in the chat, and
Let
you
us
know,
know what you think. Yeah, we should
let
have done that
heard.
earlier. Next time,
Yeah,
if you're digging it, I'm digging it. I can do this every time for the rest of our time together until the end of September, and then we'll see.
it's up to you. It's your choice,
It's
Hal.
tricky. Oh, of course. Sunny is providing services, though, to everybody if you want to have a vocal coach. Admittedly, she's not really directing me very much right now, but, she can. She's
Yes,
capable. It
yes,
does a lot. And
yeah.
we actually talk about that. We could actually put up the link to the other thing. But let's get this done because I'm running out of time. People fly, people flee, people climb and say it wasn't me. People fish, people beef, people armed to the teeth. Yes, you've got people on the tube walking on the moon, people at the bottom of the sea. People in tombs, people in igloos, even a tribe of pygmies. Oh, people are the mainspring, turning the world around. Oh, people, they're the mainspring, spinning this world upside down. People sun, people toast. People tie while other people smoke. People bowl, people rock. People pay to see two people box. Watch me, face me, dress me, baby me, bone me, wah me, house me, bug me, fire me. Oh, people are the mainspring. Spin this world around. Oh, people, they're the mainspring. Turning this world inside out. Face me, fire me, baby me. Oh, people are the mainspring, turning the world around. Oh, people, they're the mainspring, spinning this world upside down. And then it repeats that. That's enough. So, Sonny, last minute comments?
I
2
think
minutes.
I think that's a good one to end with, since we're sharing this with people, and people do make the world go round. We do what we can with what we have where we are, and sometimes we do it together. And I think that what you've done with building, this show of life that you have, the I think people are enjoying it, and they like to share in one another's worlds. So take a peek into, and take a piece from, carry it with us. So I'm grateful that you have brought me on today. Thank you very much.
And if you catch an opportunity, Walking in the Air, Sonny's band. She also fronts Psycho Killers from time to time, right? Totally Bowie. What else?
Yeah, I'm in Psycho Killers, for sure. Yeah, and I've sat in with Totally Bowie before, but they're just my friends, mostly. But Walking in the Air and Psycho Killers are my bands, and Sunny Triple's Friends Unlimited, STFU.
I still want to see that as thing too. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we play infrequently, that band, but the other ones, we
You
play.
know, I'm a big fan of Mayim Balak's Breakdown podcast. And I don't know if you've seen it, but her partner is in it too. And I've had this idea that we could actually guest other people through this kind of thing too, some point, if you feel like it. But for now, it's going to be you and me. For maybe next week, we'll do it again. Who knows?
Who knows?
All
All right.
right. 1 o'clock.
Thank you so much, Hal.
Oh, a pleasure.
All right.
Always.
See you
Thank you
next
so
week.
much for joining, everyone, too. Bye.
Bye bye.